Chase Briscoe goes back-to-back in the Southern 500 in dominating fashion. Instead of the 14 team this year, he takes the 19 to victory lane. Let's talk all about the Southern 500 in 2025 and the opening race of the 2025 playoffs. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the 2025 post-race review series. Episode, 29? I think this will be, because we've done the All-Star race and the Clash. So that should be this should be the 29th episode of the year, man. I've been doing this ever since the Darlington Spring Race last year, where Reddick, Busher, and Keselowski had that big three-way showdown for the win in the Goodyear 400. So I think this has been a pretty successful series for me. I've enjoyed doing these post-race reviews. Sometimes it's been some very late nights, I will say. But especially when you live an hour ahead of Eastern Standard Time. So race start, like a normal 3 p.m. start, starts at 4 o'clock for me. And yeah, let's just say for the night races, I've had a few 2 a.m., 3 a.m. nights, but it's more than worth it. I'd stay up to watch UFC that late anyway on pay-per-view nights. But anyways, let's cut the crap. Let's talk the Southern 500. Things started out with a bang. I'll say that because you guys, you know, the bump in turn 2, you know, as you're going onto the front stretch, the bump on the inside, it just goes ba-boom. And, well, that kind of caught Josh Berry out to start the race. He completely spun the rear end of the car. The back of the car just said, whoop, goodbye. And Josh Berry was my double points on fantasy this week. Ay, caramba. I also made a deal with one friend of mine that if Josh Berry wins the race, I'll give him $20. So I'm kind of glad it's kind of ended like that, because he was like, oh, Josh Berry's going to win the race, man. You watch. I'm like, yeah, he'll be top 10 maybe, but I don't think he'll get the win. It's just the Wood brothers haven't been consistent enough. They haven't looked like a playoff team. They haven't had momentum. And yeah, this set Josh Berry back, like, God, how many laps down was it until he came out on the track? I think it was 126 or something like that. No, it was like 143. I think he might have got a couple of them back, but like, dude, it was not good for the 21 of Josh Berry. Tyler Reddick, somehow, my man was like this, going whoop, and my man, the rear of the car hit the wall, and it was like, boom, we going straight now. I don't know how you kept it straight, Tyler Reddick, but my God, fair play to you, my guy. That was insane. I'm not even gonna lie. I gotta give my guy some credit on that. That was dope. that was dope. I just gotta put my hands up in the air and say, hey, fair play. Like that was crazy. But anyways, Alex Bowman had a rough night. I ain't even gonna lie. Alex Bowman had a very, very rough night. Pit stop problems aplenty, especially in stage 1. Alex Bowman qualified bad, went a lap down early, and even on the pit stops, I don't even know how to say this. They forgot to plug the damn pit gun in. Like, oh God. I was half making jokes to my dad. I was like, Jesus, I should be applying to be on the pit crew if this kind of crap is happening. But there was another funny moment on pit road 2 where Keselowski didn't get the left front tire put on, and he just completely stopped in Joey Logano's box and said, hey, tighten it, please. He got a pitting outside the box penalty. Of the former Darlington winner was basically like, yo, Joey, help me. I'm watching the cams right now. They're literally rushing to put their helmet on and get the friggin' gun out. That's honestly hilarious to watch. But yeah, a lot of close calls on pit road today. There was This incident with Zane Smith and Bubba Wallace, we're going to talk about Carson Hocevar and Christopher Bell later on, their incident. But yeah, pit road was just a tight place today. I mean, the 23, oh, he damn near hit some of the pit crew members on the 38, trying to avoid Zane Smith, man. It was just really bad timing. But yeah, looking back at this pit stop for Alex Bowman here too, like, the gun just wasn't plugged in. They couldn't untighten the bolt, so they had to go back for the gun. Then they plug it in, and then they're asking for the spare gun. It's like, oh my god, man. While all this was happening, though, Chase Briscoe drove away with the Stage 1 win. We'll talk about more about Briscoe and his dominance today a little later on. But, man, Briscoe was bad fast tonight, man. Briscoe was bad fast. Then there was an incident early in Stage 2 where Carson Hocevar and Chase Elliott kind of just started rubbing doors on the middle of the straightaway. I don't really know what led into this contact. If there was something from a previous race or what have you. But the 77 and the 9 just basically banged doors from the straightaway. They're just locked all the way from like past the start-finish line all the way down to turn 4. So I don't know what was all about. I seen Hocevar said like F him, I don't give an F who he drives for, so damn. Okay. There's an issue for the 45. I don't know what they were talking about there. While we were under commercial break in Stage 2, Carson Hocevar had himself one wicked save and an almost wicked save, but he went for a spin. The first time around, he was basically like this, did a Tokyo drift through the corner. I'm sure he's gonna make an edit and post it on his Instagram or put it on a Twitch stream later today. Oh, by the way, shout out Carson Hocevar getting iShow speed on a Twitch stream. Like, the fact that he got speed of all people, someone with like 20 million followers in a car at Daytona, that is super cool. But yeah, Carson hit the fence the first time around, but the second time around, the back end just completely stepped out on him, wrecked right in front of his teammate and Joey Logano. He was lucky to keep it straight. Then there were pit road issues for the 11 of Denny Hamlin, who I would argue was the second best car tonight with the speed that he's shown. But yeah, basically the right rear got stuck. They lost the wrench to tighten the wedge and stuff. It was just a disaster for Denny Hamlin that Stage 2 pit stop. If that Carson Hocevar caution doesn't happen, Denny Hamlin probably has a lot better of a result today, in my opinion. I mean, he's still like plus 43 on the cut line, so he's gonna be okay. But yes, shit happens, I guess. But then for Christopher Bell exiting his pit stall, who's coming right into his pit stall right in front of Ryan Blaney? Carson Hocevar. As Bell's on the way out, Hocevar's on the way in. Contact between the 20 and the 77. The 77 is backwards in his pit stall. There's damage on the right front of the 20, a hole in the splitter, a hole in the right front quarter panel. Like, not ideal for the 20 of Bell. His race was basically done after this. That Hocevar caution just killed off half of Joe Gibbs Racing. But yeah, then in the middle of Stage 2, it was pretty much just on cruise control for the rest of Stage 2. But then Briscoe's like, yeah, my cool suit ain't working. I think the alternator might be dying. I'm like, no. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. Like, it just can't be happening. It really can't. But luckily, the car did not die. If you watched the race, you would know. Then we had a caution for the 51 of Cody Ware. Bell was back on pit road to try and repair that damage to his car. I completely forgot about Ryan Blaney spinning around. I mean, he had a really rough day, man. He got stuck in that Hocevar Bell mix-up on pit road. Kyle Busch went for a half spin right in front of Ryan Blaney. He had to check up. He basically got tag teamed by RCR because Kyle Busch was loose in front of him. Blaney checked up to avoid him and then got hit in the rear by Austin Dillon. Somehow just grazed the fence with the rear end of the car. He's lucky he got out of there with barely any damage because it could have been a lot worse. Chase Briscoe sweeped the stages. He got Stage 2 as well. And yeah, geez, Alex Bowman actually got back to the lead lap. I struggle to believe that. I honestly didn't notice that. Yeah, then it was just Briscoe cruise control, doing his thing. You know, the 19, he's doing prime Martin Truex Jr. things. He's just cruising. But, yeah, then we had a caution for Derek Kraus blowing up on fire under commercial break. That was a rough break for the 44. Yeah, then it became... How do I say this from here? It basically became like an all-out shootout. I mean, the cars got cycled out. Briscoe asserted the lead. Briscoe definitely had the best run on the short car today. But the 45 of Reddick and the 43 of Jones definitely had him on the long run. And the 19 definitely did not have a good long run car. I don't know if he used up all of his tires early in the run, but like in all the runs, but like you could tell as like once they hit 20-30 laps in, the 19 started to slow down a little bit more than others. And I mean, this is coming from someone who, when Kyle Busch retires, is Chase Briscoe is probably going to be my favorite driver. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, the 45 and the 43 were hunting down the 19 of Briscoe. So up front, you had the three Toyota teams of Gibbs, 2311, and Legacy all fighting it out for a win. Today was a great day if you were a Toyota driver, I will say that. Well, apart from Christopher Bell. But, yeah, Briscoe held on. Reddick and Jones gave him their all. But Chase Briscoe goes back-to-back in the Southern 500 after winning last year's race for Stewart-Haas Racing. His son's there in victory lane. I don't know where the twins were at. And maybe their grandparents were looking after them. I don't know. Probably a good thing, because, I mean, you don't really want to take the babies to the racetrack, let's be honest. But how about Chase Briscoe, man? Back-to-back in the Southern 500. Like, that is a phenomenal feat for that 19 car, man. His second win on the year, his second win for Joe Gibbs Racing. Like, if you guys watched my playoff predictions on Friday, you would know I picked Chase Briscoe to go to the championship 4, man. I really do. Honestly, I have him going to the final 8 no matter what, but it really came down to him or Hamlin. Who do I think's going to make it in? And I just personally see in Talladega biting Denny Hamlin harder than it bites Chase Briscoe. That's just the way I see it. I mean, I think Denny Hamlin will probably outrun Briscoe at Vegas and Martinsville. Or if not, they'll be very, very close. But I can definitely see Chase Briscoe being the man of the hour for Toyota at Talladega. But yeah, man, Chase Briscoe, he's gone back-to-back in the Southern 500. He's showing more and more why Joe Gibbs picked him to drive this 19 car and fill in the shoes of Martin Truex Jr. And let's review your post-race results here for the Southern 500. Well. Let's talk your finishing results for the Southern 500. Chase Briscoe gets the win at the Darlington Raceway. His second win at Darlington, his second Southern 500. When was the last time somebody went back-to-back in the Southern 500? I actually want to Google that right here real quick. When was the last time a driver won back-to-back Southern 500? Briscoe is the first driver to go back-to-back in the Crown Jewel event since Greg Biffle in 2005-2006. To be honest, I never even knew Greg Biffle won a Southern 500. So, fair enough. Tyler Reddick a close second. Best car in the long run today. Tyler Reddick was actually my pick for the race going in. I actually almost swept the weekend when it came to picks. I had Corey Hyman trucks, Connor Zillage in Xfinity. I mean, obviously. And, oh, that goes for Corey Hyman too. And I had Tyler Reddick win the Cup race, so hey, almost went 3 for 3, man. I think that's fairly impressive. But yeah, maybe on another day it's Tyler Reddick's day. Tyler Reddick will win at Darlington one of these days, I promise. Eric Jones, P3, John Hunter Nemechek, P4. One of these legacy cars will make the playoffs next year if it's actually the playoff. If they don't change the format. Mark my words, man. Even if they don't make the playoffs and they go to some Chase wildcard style format again, I believe Legacy could put themselves in that fight, man. I really do. They're getting better every season, and this year in particular, they're stepping up their game pretty well every race. So look out for Legacy next year, man. With Jones and Nemechek finishing P3 and 4, I think that's a big statement in my opinion. AJ Allmendinger, P5, great run for the Colleague team. Bubba Wallace, P6, followed by Denny Hamlin. Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin rebounded to P7 after all that. In a track position race like Darlington, that's a really good result. Kyle Busch, Carson Hocevar rounds into the top 10. Chris Buescher takes the 10th place spot. Him and Chastain got into it a little bit. Speaking of Chastain, he comes home P11. They told Chastain on the radio he'd be 2 laps short, so he must have gave up a couple spots to save fuel. So good for Chastain. Austin Cindric in P12. Good result for Austin Cindric. Then it was Zane Smith, Noah Gragson. Man, great run for the front row guys, 13th and 14th. Brad Keselowski rounded to 15th after that early penalty. Good for him. Ryan Preece was on some demon time tonight. He wrecked Cody Ware, and, well, I don't know if Cody Ware went off his nose or whatever happened. I don't really know. Got Kyle Larson loose in turns 1 and 2 at one point. Preece was on some demon time tonight. He must have had Who Shot Ya on his playlist. Chase Elliott, P17, rough night for the 9 team. Was nowhere to be seen the whole day. Man, all of Hendrick was off today. Chase Elliott is the highest finishing Hendrick car of the whole race. And there's only, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 Chevys in front of him. Rough night for Chevrolet, man. Oh my God. Ryan Blaney, P12. Oh, well, what am I talking about? He's number 12, dumbass. P18. Yeah, good rebound for him, I guess. Kyle Larson, P19. I thought he was going to get top 5 early in the race, but the more the race faded to the night, the more he faded off. Joey Logano finishes 20th. He pretty much was there the whole day. William Byron, I don't know what happened to Byron, but he was running like 14th or like probably like 10th to 15th range, and then when night hit, he just completely faded as well. I don't know, man. The Chevys must not have been set up for the night. Ty Gibbs, Austin Dillon, Cole Custer, Daniel Suarez, who had a lot of tape on his car. He must have been in that Josh Berry wreck. Todd Gilliland, Justin Haley, Riley Herbst, Christopher Bell. Man, how did Bell still beat people? Jesus. Ricky Stenhouse, Alex Bowman, SVG, Michael McDowell, Ty Dillon, Timmy Hill, Derek Kraus, Cody Ware, and Josh Berry round out your results. Wait, let me check this. Did Josh Berry still hold on to the fastest lap? I think he might have. Oop, it's not going to tell me. Oh, what a load of bollocks. Can I... Delta. Oh, wait, no, I can see best lap. 29. Looking for better than the 29.3. Who got it? Who's going to tell me? And Briscoe's best. Yeah, Josh Berry did get it. 29.04. Wow, that is a great lap. That's 3/10 faster than Briscoe's fastest lap. Yeah, Josh Berry probably could have been a menace if he would have not had that lap 1 incident, but things happen, and that's NASCAR, man. That is NASCAR. Hopefully the 21 can respond and get a good run at Gateway, but we'll have a look at the playoff standings heading into Worldwide Technology Raceway. Just call it Gateway, guys, please. Once again, big shout out to Steven Taranto for uploading the playoff standings here. I'm going to move my webcam. I'm going to put myself up here for now. Why not? Actually, that cuts a little bit of my hair off. I look right weird. Usually they have the replies over here. Okay, there we go. That'll do. This'll do for now. You guys can see that. So, Chase Briscoe, 1 win. He's going to the round of 12 no matter what. Denny Hamlin, plus 43. Jason Azar, if he just has a good run at Gateway, he doesn't have to worry about Bristol too much. Same with Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, and maybe Bubba Wallace, William Byron, Ryan Blaney, and Chastain. If you're plus 20, you just have a good run at Gateway. You probably won't have to worry about Bristol too much. If I'm Austin Cindric, though, it might be Gateway or bust, because I don't think Cindric's going to have a good Bristol. Bell, he's probably going to be good at both Bristol and Gateway. I think he could genuinely win Gateway, man. If it ain't going to go to the Fords, I think it's going to go to Christopher Bell. Chase Elliott, man, could Chase Elliott genuinely be a round of 16 exit? He genuinely might be around a 12 if he keeps up this form, because, like, think about it. His only good run since Watkins Glen is Daytona, and that was a 10. Elliott does not have momentum on his side right now. We got to take that into consideration. SVG, he had what? 20-some point gap, and he's now +3. And he's got 2 more ovals to worry about, and if he doesn't have a good gateway, I'm sorry, guys, but Shane Van Gisbergen is coming. Like, I like SVG, but if he has a bad gateway, he's just not going to make it to the next round. He's terrible at Bristol. Darlington was his best race of this round, and he lost like 25 points. So just keep that in mind. Joey Logano, -3. Joey Logano, man, this is genuinely the battle of mid right now between Elliott, Van Gisbergen, and Logano, because none of these guys are performing great. But yeah, Austin Dillon, Austin Dillon might be screwed, man. I don't see him having a good gateway or Bristol compared to everybody else. Bowman, man, Bowman's in a really bad spot. He needed a good Darlington. He needed one. Because Chevy's not going to be good at gateway. They're not going to be good compared to the Fords and the Toyotas. That's not a good situation if you're Alex Bowman. That's not a good situation. Yeah, if Bowman doesn't manage a top 10 at gateway, he's win or bust at Bristol. Straight up. That's the way I see it. And Josh Berry in the 21. Yeah, I think he's honestly the most likely out of these guys on the bottom to get their way out of there besides Logano. But the ones who are 5 points back or lower, I think Josh Berry's the most likely one to get out of there. But it will be interesting to see how Gateway unfolds and then heading into Bristol. Oh boy. Well, guys, in terms of driver of the day, I am going to give it to one of the Legacy boys. Eric Jones finished 3rd, but we expect good Darlington runs out of Eric Jones. We don't necessarily expect good runs out of Darlington from John Hunter Nemechek. So my driver of the day for Darlington is John Hunter Nemechek, man. But obviously I'd pick Briscoe. But the point of this segment of the series is to point out someone who did really good today that wasn't the winner. Briscoe led 310 laps out of 367. Of course, I would pick Chase Briscoe if the point of this segment was not to pick the winner. But I think John Hunter Nemechek deserves it. Drove from 28th on the grid to P4, held that top 5 for majority of the race. I think Legacy deserve a lot of credit, man. They set their car up for the night. They held the lead lap in the daytime. They drove their way up to the front. I think John Hunter Nemechek, Legacy Motor Club, and Eric Jones deserve a round of applause for today's race. Now, let's put this race on the Skyler scale, and let's go to bed. Alrighty, guys, for this Darlington race, for the Southern 500, I am going to give this race a 75%. It wasn't amazing. There's some things to be happy about. Like, I thought it was a decent race. Cars could pass. It was tough with clean air at points, but like, we gotta remember, this is Darlington. Darlington has never, ever been an easy track to pass at. A 2-lane track where the outside lane has more grip, and whoever's willing to dare more can usually get the reward if they do not do the slightest overstep, man. So we got to keep that into consideration. I do think the Gen 6 car was better than the Gen 7 at Darlington, but man, if we honestly, I think the next gen would be a really good car if we just slap some horsepower into it. I really do believe that, but there's points to be happy about today. I don't think it was an amazing race, but I thought it was good. It wasn't really good. It wasn't the greatest race I've ever seen, but it was a good Southern 500. And the Southern 500 is usually one of the main races of the year where you can look to and say, that's going to be a good race. The Southern 500, 99% of the time, is a good race. And today showed that. It was a good race, one of the better Southern 500s. I mean, especially for me as someone who really likes Chase Briscoe. But yeah, that's going to wrap up this video. How would you guys rate the Southern 500? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of Chase Briscoe's performance? What do you think of your favorite driver's performance? How do you think the guys on the bottom can get their way into the next round of the playoffs? Let me know. The comments are down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe while you're at it. Turn those notifications on so you never miss a future video here on the channel, guys. And yeah, don't forget to follow the Patreon and the Twitch too. Links are in the description down below. All right. I'll see you guys on Sunday afternoon after Gateway. Hopefully that race will be over by like 7 o'clock so I can get this video done and edited and watch Ravens versus Bills. We got football back. We got football. We got football. Oh my God, I'm so pumped. Hopefully I win all my fantasy leagues this year and take home a bunch of cash. I'm in like 3 or 4 pay leagues this year. Oh man, gonna be a blast. Let's not talk about fantasy football. This is a NASCAR video. And yeah, I'll see you guys this time next week, even though it'll be a little earlier in the day for Worldwide Technology Raceway, also known as Gateway. Until Gateway, guys, take care and peace.